This is the first exercise that I did from home to actually build my glutes before I went to the gym. So it's a fire hydrant. You're on all fours and you're gonna be lifting at the knee and squeezing at the top. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Stronger with Shen. Today, I'm gonna be taking you through a few of my favorite exercises that helped me build my glutes. I'm gonna be sharing with you a lot of insightful tips that helped me build my glutes, starting from here to here. All right, let's go. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. You're driving from your heels and you're pulsing those glutes. Squeeze, they're burning. Woo! Ooh. Damn. First things first, ladies, when it comes to building your glutes, I started incorporating booty bands before my actual workout. So today we're actually doing only glute specific exercises to build your glutes. A lot of you guys think that we're going for your squats or going for movements like your hamstrings are glute specific exercises. When your exercises involve more than your glute, it is not a glute specific exercise. So right now we're gonna warm up our glutes using booty bands. Booty bands are so essential to your booty growth. They add a lot of resistance and tension, and you know what tension brings? A lot of growth. There are many different exercises that you can do using your booty bands when you first start your workout to warm up and isolate your glutes. This is going to activate your glutes and bring the blood flow so that they are awake before we touch any of the machines. So I'm going to do a lateral band walk where I'm keeping a gap in between my legs. And I'm really pushing outwards on that band, including my ankles and my knees. This is going to strengthen your joints at the same time. I'm going to show you another exercise that I like to do with the booty bands. So we're going to take it to the floor. Usually I recommend using a mat. But don't worry, I'm just showing you. It's called a fire hydrant. This is the first exercise that I did from home to actually build my glutes before I went to the gym. So it's a fire hydrant. You're on all fours and you're gonna be lifting at the knee and squeezing at the top. You really wanna squeeze at the top and maximize the tension between the band and the other leg. Keep your core tight. And always keep a distance. Do not close your legs together. Keep that distance. Keep training. Another one of my favorite exercises is going to be your donkey kickback. So now we're going to go upwards, using our heels to stomp towards the ceiling. All right, so now you know that you need to add in a lot of booty band exercises to maximize the growth of your glutes. So now that we're warmed up, oh, you can't hear that. Give me a sec. I should catch my breath. You can pause. Next up, this is my favorite of all time. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I do a ton of kickbacks. And so 2 tips here. A lot of you guys are neglecting single leg movements or single arm movements. Sometimes you can be dominant on one side, and so the other side, it gets neglected. And this is another reason why I love doing single leg exercises, because you can focus on each leg at a time. This is going to help with your growth as well, so that you are not imbalanced. And we don't want to be imbalanced. We want to have glutes that are equal and both perky and round. So I love the cable kickbacks for that. I'm going to show you how I do it, because when I first started, I would stand up and do the kickbacks, but I found that it would hurt my lower back. So I personally like to hinge at a 45-degree angle and then kick back. Okay? Or most times I like to actually kneel and kick back. Okay? This is going to take a lot of pressure, especially when you're not standing. And another reason why you're probably not seeing your booty growing is because you are neglecting glute-specific exercises. Glute-specific exercises are going to be your cable kickbacks in many different variations. You can also go out to the side like an abduction. Also, the seated abduction is going to help you and provide you with a lot of pressure on your glutes without involving your quads, your calves, or your hamstring. And we're going to get there after this. Let's start with isolating our glutes. All right, y'all, here we go. So you're gonna hinge at a 45. Make sure your core is pulled in. There's a slight bend in your knee that will not be moving. And you're gonna keep the leg that is moving with a slight bend as well. Never straight. Here we go. Keep your core tight. And you wanna have fun, guys. Keep control. Take your time on your way in. Squeeze at the top and keep your core tight. Nice. When you are doing single leg exercises, you're going to notice that one leg is weaker than the other. And this is going to give you an opportunity to strengthen the weaker side. Now I'm going to take it down and show you guys how I do it on the floor. I forgot I have my watch on my ankle, so I look like I'm on house arrest. So now we're taking it to the floor. Obviously you want to have a mat, okay, anytime you're on the floor on your knees. I like the cable on the inside of my knee, not on the outside. And I'm driving my heel up while keeping my back straight and my core pulled in. Take your time on the way in and kick out with the heel up. All right, guys, and this is what the booty pump looks like already. And I'm really just showing you guys the examples. All right, let me show you guys to the seated abduction machine. Let's go. So now we're gonna be using glute-specific exercise machines. Whether you're doing the abduction seated or standing, we're gonna be using the standing one currently right now. You are gonna feel this only in your glutes. So this is a glute-specific exercise. One of my OGs. When I was new to the gym, I didn't train and do any other machines because at the time it was hard for me. Just like you guys, especially if you're beginners, you're overwhelmed with how to use a machine. This is so easy to use. So you're gonna get on and I'm gonna drive with my heels. I'm gonna sit back, right? You wanna sit back and drive open with your heels, keeping your core pulled in. Sitting low. Sit as low as you can. Really push your bum back. Keep your core tight and your chest up. You can even add some pulses. One thing you want to make sure that you do not do is bring your legs back together. So you do not want to close them back together. You always want to keep a gap and a distance in between your knees. Woo! I got a booty pump. All right, be sure to subscribe, guys. Like this video. It's so important that you isolate your glutes, like as much as you can before you go into your deadlift. I personally like to do all of this before I go into my hip thrust. Because a lot of people start with their hip thrust, but look at my glute pump already. Now when I go in for a hip thrust, which is coming up next, you are gonna see my glutes get even bigger. And so that is my strategy of training, how I structure my workouts as well. So again, you're gonna sit low, put your bum back. Let's also talk about that progressive overload. So this weight for me, you know, you don't always have to do 3 sets, 12 reps. Sometimes I'll do 5 sets on here. Sometimes I'll do 10 sets. So this is going to be our 3rd set. We're going to go up heavier and then we're going to do a drop set, right? Even if you get 2 or 3 reps, that's okay. Continue dropping down the weight. If you want to max out, go all the way to the end. Or like for me, I use a timer. So I'm gonna go all the way to the end of the timer. Or if you're doing 12 reps, you know, just challenge yourself to do as many as you can. Woo! So you don't wanna keep using the same weight. If you find that you can still challenge yourself a little bit more, add and increase that weight. Now we're gonna drop down, burn out those glutes. I made it lighter, and I'm gonna rep it out a little bit more, a little bit longer. Keeping that core tight, keeping your form. It's feeling good. We can drop it down even lower. Didn't even have to be too heavy for you to actually feel the burn. But because I increased that weight and I kept going with more reps, you're gonna feel more of that burn, that activation, the glute pump. The booty is booting, the body is bodying. All right, woo! Let me catch my breath. Another tip here, guys, you wanna add in plyometric exercises, box jumps, squat jumps, in and outs. Don't be afraid to jump. Personally for me, I'm not hopping up or jumping up to any high platforms, but I'm just slightly lifting off the ground, sitting low in my squat. So we're also gonna add in the jump squat, and I'd like to also add a booty band to this, but my booty band is currently in my bag, so we're gonna do it without. And so you're gonna get a wide stance, like a sumo stance. Drop your glutes low while maintaining your upper body upright. I want you to drive through your heels into your hamstrings, into the bottom of your glutes. Scoop up your glutes from the bottom and jump. Woo! Oh my gosh. All right, y'all, first off, come visit me in Calgary because you're training at one of the sickest gyms. They have everything. So we're gonna be doing our hip thrust on the bar, but I also wanna show you the hip thrust machine. So for all my beginners who are like trying to build their form and adjust themselves, first, before using the bar, use an actual stable machine that is really gonna help with your growth, all right? So this is another layout of what the hip thrust machine looks like, okay? Now we're gonna bring it over here and we're gonna go to the bar. We're gonna use the bar and the padding. I'm not gonna put on any protectors, stoppers. Let me just make sure my camera is on. So now we are ready for the weights, right? We wanna now add in these free weights. I feel like all the people who probably told you or taught you how to grow your glutes, they don't have glutes like mine. They don't. Okay. And I feel like my strategy, like I don't know it all, but I definitely feel like my strategy has allowed me to get the most amount of glutes. Okay. but find what works for you. All right, here we go. You want to make sure that your feet are equal, not one out to the side. They are equal. And then we're going to lift up from the heels into the hamstrings, into your glutes. And I like to grip the bar as much as I can so that I'm balanced. Make sure that the padding is equal, the bar is equal, and let's go. So you want to take your time and make sure that you're stable. Core tight, and really drive your hips up as much as you can and squeeze at the top of the movement. Woo! So another thing that a lot of people don't do is add techniques to their training, and that's going to help you over time, especially if you find that you've been training for years and you're falling out of love with it. Adding techniques like pauses, pulses, tempo, just little fun movements within the actual exercise is going to make a huge difference to your growth. So I'm going to show you right now how to pulse, and I'm going to show you the tempo, and I'm going to show you a pause. Okay? So we're going to start off with a pulse, baby. Pulse. And your glutes are going to be on fire. Woo! I'm so loud. Shenese is in the building. All right, here we go. So we're gonna pulse. And you're gonna keep those movements short. You wanna make your core tight. You're driving from your heels and you're pulsing those glutes. Squeeze, they're burning. Woo! Ooh. Damn. Oh, I gotta sit for a second. Woo. All right, now I'm gonna show you tempo. Tempo. All right, so we're gonna do 1, 2 on the way up, and 1, 2, 3, 4 on the way down, stretching the hamstrings and the glutes. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Ugh, my glutes are on fire. The last one is going to be a pause. So we're going to pause at the top of the movement, not at the bottom. All right, here we go. Woo! Hold, 1, 2. You can hold for as long as you want. Squeeze. At the top, I'm gonna give you guys 5. We're at 3. My glutes are on fire. And that is your pause. That is your pause. Get me out of this position. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah, guys. Booty gains. Turn to the side so you know it's real. Woo! I'm louder than the guys in the gym. But yeah, the waist is getting smaller. The booty is getting bigger. And I always get BBL allegations. That is what we want, okay? That is what we want. All right, guys, so we're pretty much done here. Thank you so much for tuning in. But I wanted to leave you with a few more tips that may just go over your head. You wanna make sure that you're staying hydrated. If you are not staying hydrated, you're not gonna provide your body and your muscles with enough water to keep you fueled, energized, and water is the main source of what's in your body, right? What's in your muscles as well. So you wanna stay hydrated. I personally drink EAAs during my workout to prevent any muscle loss, muscle fatigue, muscle cramps. And so I encourage you to find what works for you. You can also add in some salt. That helps as well. All right, next up, food. You wanna make sure that you are eating high protein meals. When I first started my journey, I looked like this. Okay, a lot of it, I was malnourished, I was insecure, unhappy, I was in toxic relationships because I didn't prioritize my growth, investing in myself, and developing the confidence that I really truly needed. A lot of you guys are suffering internally based on how you look, and you know you could be looking better. Nutrition is going to be so key to add to your energy, to add to your results, and you really got to just decide, like, who do you want to be at the end of the day? I never knew 11 years ago that I would be this fit girl, like so fit. I started out training because of an ex-boyfriend, ex-relationship, and I joined the gym out of revenge. A lot of you guys want to argue with relationships that never worked out. Personally, for me, I joined the gym. That's where I did a lot of healing. That's where I let out a lot of my aggression. That is where I transformed my body to where it is now. This is where I've built my body, where a lot of people now ask me if I have butt implants, right? I also became a bikini pro Olympian. And how many people can really say that they made it to the Olympia stage? I used a lot of my pain. I used a lot of my past situations that didn't work out for me. Maybe situations that hurt me because it wasn't the life that I expected, or things that I just put up with. I use that as fuel to go to the gym on the days that I didn't want to go. And with you going, you're going to be able to build and sculpt your body the way you want it to look, and also the way that you want to feel. Last two things here, you also want to prioritize stretching. So one of my favorite stretches for my hips, so simple, we can do it right here, is going to be a frog squat. And so I'm just opening up my hips, using my elbows to push out on my knees to open up my hips. I bring my chest up and I sit low into my glutes, right? You can also do like a runner's lunge as well, where you sit deep into your hamstrings. You get to stretch out the adductors. But there are many stretches that you can do, and I have a stretch routine coming out as well, so look out for that. But you need to stretch. And lastly, track your progress. I know a lot of the times we don't want to take pictures or videos when we don't feel good, when we feel like, oh, I don't look as good as I want to, or I'm not where I want to be. Track your progress, because 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I was too insecure to track my progress, start taking pictures, recording my workouts, and now I don't have much to show to you guys because I didn't take a lot of that footage. You never know who you're going to become 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when you actually train and you work on yourself, you invest in yourself, you go hard for yourself, all right? I hope you guys enjoyed the tips today. Let me know down below. And if you have any questions or what you'd like to see more of, drop them down below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button. And that was my booty building tips. Woo! Yes! Yes!